You know, I never set out to fix higher education. After surviving abuse and homelessness in high school, I never even thought I would go to college. Now I work for and with universities, doing my part to impact a massive system that saw 560 colleges and universities close within the last 5 years. 560 institutions gone. 560 campuses where hundreds of thousands of learners like you and me went to find who they were and their place in the world. Without college, I would most likely not be here, and my alma mater was one of those 560. The decline of higher education impacts everyone. You can't go back and change how you were brought up in your home environment, but you can evolve, reframe, and design your life the way you want it. And this often happens through exposure to different ideas and different people in higher education. To be clear, I have no degree or formalized training in education. All of my experience and all of my training is in event design. And no, that is not wedding planning. I am a behavior change designer. That means that I design events and experiences that take people from point A to point B. I alter habits and behaviors for the long term. And while I do this in a business context, you can think of personal experiences like the birth of a child, the loss of a loved one, or changing careers. For example, when I went from designing events to teaching event design at a university, whoa, what a change! I saw all of the issues of higher education, issues such as, but not all-inclusive, of budget, recruitment, retention of staff, faculty, and students, outdated systems, engagement, curriculum, public funding, legislation, technology, the list goes on and on. All of these are real issues. They're large issues. It's a complex web where each issue impacts the others. So I had to ask myself, what would be the starting domino? The one issue that if we focused our time and attention, it would impact all the others in a positive way. I became obsessed with this question. I asked hundreds, if not thousands of people this question, and surprisingly, all of the answers came back to the same root: changing mindset. Changing the mindset of the purpose of higher education and what it needs to be in the future. But higher education is very interesting. Thousands of employees with differing interests, administrators with their metrics and reports, tenure-track faculty of varying levels of motivation, tenure-track faculty who are burned out trying to get to tenure, and adjuncts and staff who make so little they're concerned with basic needs. So this leads me to the next very important question. How do you get someone to care about something that they don't care about, they aren't measured on, and they are not incentivized for? Though we all know that we should measure what matters. All of us know that. But the strategy may have changed, but the structure has not changed. So in the existing structure, how can we change our mindset? What does it take to change mindset normally? It takes curiosity to plant the seed, and it takes intrinsic motivation to learn and apply that waters the plant. Well, I can design for curiosity, and I can design for intrinsic motivation, so why can't I design transformational events for those who are stuck in their behavior and do not want to change? Why can't I? So as an academic, I needed to test this new hypothesis. And as luck would have it, a few months later, the administrative team of another college approached me. Their dean had a visionary 5-year strategic plan and needed to get faculty buy-in. The plan was to add community engagement as a core part of the teaching and research process. In order for this to be successful, metrics needed to be added to the evaluation and tenure and promotion criteria. Now, if you're internal to higher ed at all, you know that tenure and promotion criteria is not up to the administrators. The faculty need to bring that forward, and they need to vote on it. Why on earth would faculty willingly add additional barriers to themselves for tenure and promotion or for evaluation with no additional incentive? They needed a transformational experience. They needed to push over that first domino. So I started my research. In this particular situation, the target market was engineering faculty within 3 years of tenure or recently tenured. Who are these engineering faculty? Well, they're tired, but they really care about making an impact. They have too much on their plate, not enough time, and don't know how to say no. They have very little work-life balance and really fear failure and rejection in their academic life. They're analytical and love puzzles. They know little to nothing about this concept of community engagement we're trying to add. So after the designed experience, what did we want them to have? We wanted them to have confidence. We wanted them to have grant-worthy ideas. We wanted them to have strong, collaborative partnerships with our community partners and with their faculty peer group. We wanted them to be able to explain and apply engagement in their teaching and research programs with the confidence to know that it's important and that it's doable. So now to design the event. Well, curiosity, we had to give them something new and different, something they would willingly give up their overcommitted time for, something like a game, something that would intrigue their interest. An intrinsic motivation to learn. We needed them to actively want to search out information on community engagement, to understand the knowledge, and to make those pieces connect in their minds like a puzzle. So I put on my Sherlock Holmes hat and I designed a murder mystery series. Curiosity. The invitations were clouded in mystery. The dripping of information was slow and deliberate. The faculty were curious. They were intrigued. They had no idea what they were walking into. They signed up. They were so curious. Check. Intrinsic motivation to learn. Well, the faculty became literal detectives. They had to seek out the information. They defined the who, what, where, when, how, and why of their murder mystery. They were so pumped. Check. All right, so who died in this murder mystery series? Well, Dr. James L. Smith died, and even though Dr. Smith looks like a real person on paper, he represented the abstract concept of traditional higher education, which the faculty did figure out. So yes, you all understand I murdered higher education. Dr. Smith was working on a community engagement project at the time of his death, and he had many community partners, all of which had to be interrogated because they were witnesses. I have never seen faculty write so fast and so much and ask so many questions because they're trying to put the pieces together in their mind. Then to earn additional clues, they then had to apply it to their own teaching and research programs. They applied all of the information, and at the end of this, they did a competition project pitch where the top 3 ideas won seed grants, and everyone who figured out the murder mystery walked away with a prize. At the end of the 3 series of events, all of the objectives had been met. The faculty created strong relationships with each other and with community partners. They were so pumped. They were doing such incredible things that they themselves were like, we should get credit for this. We should add this to the evaluation and tenure and promotion process because we should get credit, right? And so by doing that, they came up with the idea themselves. They realized how important it was. All of the objectives had been met. And while a murder mystery series will not work for every single objective and every single organization, behavior change design will work in any workplace for any objective when designed appropriately. I simply designed the seed and architected the journey, and they planted it and watered it into actualization. 560 institutions have closed within the last 5 years. And while events need to be looked at from time to time and redesigned, so does higher education. Is it not better to redesign higher education than to close like those other 560? So I challenge each of you in the room, listening and watching online, I challenge all of you to put pressure on higher education to redefine that purpose, what we need now and what we need into the future. I challenge all of you to demand more of the places that we send our students, to go from dependence to independence, where they go to learn how to critically think, to make plans that they're going to implement into the future, to lead all of us into a better society. Changing mindset for everyone is the starting domino that will take higher education from surviving to thriving, one experience at a time.